Good afternoon all, and welcome to the PL2 finale live on the fifth stand. Ben Andrews and Tommy Langley here to help you kick off the Chelsea weekend. It is the last game of the season for Andy Myers and his development squad, and the Blues are at Blackburn. It is a Rovers return of sorts, if you pardon the pun, for those of you old enough to remember that. These two having met last Friday at this level. One of the games that got pushed because of the early New Year COVID issues. Only one goal in it, a rare clean sheet, and the goal itself a bit of a question mark over it, but we'll take it. Charlie Webster has the shot here, and George Nunn poking in his second goal in a couple of weeks. You can see Blackburn weren't overly impressed because he did look at perhaps a shade offside, but we'll take it, Tommy.
We certainly will, and he was offside, there's no doubt about that, and I said it on the comms at the time, but the shot gets deflected, as you can see from Charlie Webster, but look where he's standing. He's a good 2 yards behind the last defender, but tucks it away nicely, and that was the winning goal.
Well, champions last turn, the Blues haven't quite been able to repeat the feat, but they finished the campaign with these 90 minutes here, and they know that a win will guarantee runners-up spot behind the new runaway champions that they are. And yes, it's that name again, folks, Manchester City, but a right old scrap behind them. Blackburn were well in the mix until a recent poor run, but as you can see, they too can finish second. Spurs currently in third. They play Man City this evening a little later than this game, so they might yet finish runners-up, so let's make sure that doesn't happen, folks. Incidentally, Southampton will be going down from that. There is relegation, so will one of Leicester or West Ham. There are games tonight and a couple more on Monday that will decide that. From the second tier, incidentally, Leeds United will be up as the PL2 Division 2 champions, and there'll be playoffs to determine who else comes up. Here's a newer name for you. We've just seen him after a long injury layoff begin his young Chelsea career, Tommy. Xavier Mbuyamba.
Yeah, watched him last week, did very well. As you said, kept a clean sheet. Him and Sam McClelland, a few last-ditch challenges. But overall, he had a good game, and as did the back four generally. So one great save from Ethan Wadey, who unfortunately doesn't play today. We changed the goalkeeper with Bergstrom. He made one great save. But apart from that, it's as I said, the defence played very well.
Three changes to both sides, actually, from Friday's meeting. For Blackburn, Sardi, Harlock and Durant all come in. Look out for Conor McBride. He's not only their top scorer, he's actually the second top scorer in this whole division. So he will need watching. For the Blues, as Tommy mentioned, Lucas Bergstrom's back in goal. Nice to see Levi Colwill get fit in time to finish what has been a brilliant season after missing the last few with a niggle. And Lewis Bate is back in midfield. Henry Lawrence has the honour of the armband. And we're going to see Dujon Sterling play a little further forward. Silence observed here for the former Republic of Ireland midfielder Alan McLaughlin, a former Rover who you may have heard the awful news died at far too young an age. Former Pompey player as well. Lewis Smith is our referee there. Blackburn, incidentally, only 2 points from the last 15, otherwise they might have been in with a little charge on Man City up at the top there. Nice to finish runners-up. Let's hope the Blues can do it, but Blackburn have that incentive as well here. Harvey Vale Shot there, Miles Peart-Harris would like, I'm sure, to finish the season as top scorer, and with no Tiano Ballo playing today, he has that chance. They're both on 7 goals, so a few little bits of business to sort out. But most importantly, more good developing football from the Blues youngsters, ideally with a win to see them take the runners-up spot in the PL2. Disjointed season as it often can be, but this term even more so with a very long winter break. Chelsea were top going into it. Let's see if they can finish on a high here. McClelland back there with Mbuyamba and Colwell.
Yeah, Henry Lawrence is playing wide left, Dujon wide right. So we're still playing 3 at the back today, Ben, but obviously just changed the personnel with Colwell coming in. We actually played 2 at the back last week, so he's tweaked it a little bit.
Looking forward to seeing a bit more of this young man, Xavier Mbuyamba. I think he must be I can't think of any other Chelsea player who scored with his first touch as a Chelsea player, but he did as a substitute a couple of games ago. He might have some defending to do here. McClelland comes across. Blocks coming in, and shots flying over into the houses as well, but it's a corner because it took a nick on the way through.
Yeah, it did, and again last week there was a few scrambles in the box and their finishing was awful. Him in particular, he's got a great temperament outside the box. You made the point earlier about his goal-scoring record, but last week his shooting was way off target, as it was then.
Thankfully, only Liam Delap of Manchester City, who's had a little bit of first-team action for Pep, and yes, he is son of Rory, has got more. He's got a lot more, 21 goals. That's going to need defending. No, it's not. Too much on it, and no alarms there. And Lucas Bergstrom, and now they're hoping to finish the campaign on a high here after a couple of slightly high-profile. Can I use the word gaff? I'm going to. In the last few weeks, it'll be nice to see him have a good game. Been a lot of keepers getting game time at this level for Andy Myers this term. Lucas, one of them. Carlos Ziga, Ethan Wadey, the young American. And a fella called Petr Cech got a game as well just before Christmas.
Got a chance in, you know, that Petr Cech.
Solid from Bergstrom there. None coming back from an offside position. There's Isaac Whitehall wearing the Blackburn number 8 in the middle of their midfield. There's McBride. Whitehall keeps it moving. Sardi stepping forward. Chelsea have dealt with that. Here's Bate. Nicely done. Miles Peart-Harris looks like he's grown in a couple of weeks. Bate out-battled. Don't see that very often. McBride's won it off him. Well in George McEachran.
Yeah, again, George last week made a load of interceptions like that, like when they're trying to play the striker in, intercepted the pass forward. We missed Lewis Bate last week, Ben. He was obviously absent. He had a slight niggle and didn't play. We missed his quality in midfield and his passing ability.
One of many who I think can reflect after this on a pretty good season. Quite a few of the inverted commas senior players not involved in this who might usually have been for various reasons, either a niggle or indeed involved with Thomas Tuchel's first team group. Tino Angerin and Tino Livramento, arguably the player of the year. Lewis Bate wouldn't be far behind though, I don't think.
No, totally agree. I think they match up very well. It seems to be the sweet left foot of Bate. Finds Livramento on that right-hand side a lot in the games we've done, and unfortunately, as I said, he's missing today. But no mean replacement in Dujon Sterling. We know the ability and pace he's got.
Two of the players incoming today for Blackburn over this free kick, Harlock and Durant. They're making the early running here. Awful ball in from Lenny Chirino. That's his header. Durant's not going to get past Sterling that way. Harvey Vale got a piece of it. Coming out with it is Sam Burns. Chelsea haven't really got in the Blackburn half yet. Well, they will now.
Yeah, strange, but the game started exactly the same way last week. They were for 10 minutes. They were really at the game, good pace within their game, and passing the ball around. More long ball than perhaps today. They're actually playing through the channels today and the lines, but they had a couple of long balls last week. But they had plenty of possession.
Sam McClelland, limited playing time because of plenty of good options in front of him, but when he has played, I think he's played really well back there. Nibble. Foul from McEachran. He and Dujon Sterling coming into the frame in the second half of this season. Might be an interesting summer for them. Loanees past, present and future. Lots coming back to the club after largely successful times. Be interesting to see what happens with them, and Thomas Tuchel will want to have a look at some of them too. And Conor Gallagher and Ian Martson, Mark Gurhey. There's a few good ones there playing at good levels.
Well, you look at what Conor Gallagher's done this year in a poor side at West Brom, scored goals and really played that midfield role well for them. So again, one to see. Tuchel was here last week watching these boys, and they showcased themselves quite well. I dare say he's got other things on his mind this weekend with Manchester City tomorrow night, and a nice win in midweek.
Seems to be Chelsea and Man City everywhere you look at the moment, including at the top of the PL2 table, top of the WSL table. In the men's game, I know Chelsea aren't second, but I think common consensus would be these days they are the best two teams in the division.
Yeah,
they're certainly the form sides in the division since Tuchel took over. So City and Chelsea have got the most points. Out by McClelland. Nunn's got to keep that a little better. Bate with the nibble.
Yeah, 7 minutes in, he's been involved already, Lewis Bate, hasn't he? A couple of challenges, one he lost, a couple he's won, and that's a free kick there. But you're right earlier, Nunn's got to hold on to that ball. We can't actually get out of our own half at the moment, and when the ball comes up to him, has to stick and let Harris join him and the other midfield players as well.
So pleasing for George, he's finally got off the mark in the PL2, because he's had a few games. He's certainly not been the regular number 9, as any of you who've watched these games a lot will know, but he's had plenty of games. It did take a while. He's had some chances, and he finally got off the mark with a goal against Spurs in that win a couple of games ago, and then added the slightly dodgy one against Rovers last week.
Yeah, sometimes you need that little bit of luck, don't you? You know, he was definitely offside last week, but he tucked it away nicely, and hopefully he'll gain some confidence out of it.
It's just popped through the legs of Levi Colwell. And he and McEachran in a tight squeeze there. That was so neatly done. They made that look a lot easier than it was. Good start from Blackburn here. And no flag either.
Offside.
Oh, there is now.
His movement again last week was very, very good. He plays off the shoulder of defenders, loves to get in behind. And as I said, when they playing the long ball early in last week's game, he was on the end of them. But on this occasion, just dragged himself offside.
Got himself 7 goals, Sam Burns, in the PL2 this term.
Yeah, he's a live wire.
It's not a bad tally when you think, you play far fewer games. None beaten to it in the air. Rolled through neatly. No flag this time. The spin. But that'll do as McEachran to the rescue, mops up for Chelsea.
Done well though. Dujon Sterling did really well because he actually tracked the run and stopped the momentum there. And as you said, we were able to nick it away. But Blackburn on the front foot really started this game brightly.
It's all three of Burns and McBride and Durant looking dangerous in that attacking third. George Nunn back doing his defensive work. Blackburn with the better of the opening 10 here. And away it is, relatively so, by Dujon Sterling. Durant nudged off it nicely by Harvey Vale. He'll have enjoyed the second half of this campaign in the PL2 setup. He's been a regular every week for the 18s. It's been very much a fixture of late, though, for Andy Myers at this level.
Yeah, he talks about success stories. I think he's been one, Harvey Vale, on that left side. When he's played wing-back, he's done very well. And today he's playing that sort of forward role, but again, started the game well.
Well, there's no flag here. It's a big save. Lucas Bergstrom to the rescue for Chelsea. Sam Burns had a wonderful chance. He's not taken it. That was a bit easy.
Well, again, it's a straight ball down the middle. We've got to defend it better than that. And I think the ball gets under his feet a little bit there, and he sort of tries to feed it into that far corner. Great save from Bergstrom, low down to his left-hand side.
McBride battling away, and he's kept hold of it, is Durant. Still not clear. Burns again. Blackburn really put in the squeeze on here, but Chelsea just about managing to repel. That'll do. Goal kick.
Yeah, we talk about incentives, Ben. No bigger incentive than to win the game today and finish above Chelsea. Yeah, that they can't win the league, but obviously they can finish above Chelsea, and that will be a great achievement for the coaching staff and the recruitment there. So, as I said, might be the last game of the season, but plenty still to be played for.
Couple of points, couple of places, and Tottenham the meat in the sandwich. Playing their final game in about an hour, actually, against Manchester City. That's not a good clearance. Bert Harris trying to bulldoze his way through, and he's making his physical presence felt in that box. Couldn't quite ever get it under control.
No, it wouldn't come down for him, but it absolutely was bouncing around and just wouldn't come down into his path.
Risk taken by Sam McClelland here, could be costly. Burns with another chance, no. The danger's not over, this is Durant. Been a strong start anyway by Blackburn, but Chelsea just helping him out once or twice. That one's come to nothing though. Pert Harris here onto Vale, who wins the free kick.
That was a good battle last week. I keep talking about last week, I know, but that was a good battle with Harvey Vale and their fullback Dan Pike. Pike loves to get forward, and as I said, this role today a little bit further forward for Harvey Vale. Hopefully he can take him back into areas he doesn't want to be.
He's their most consistent performer, Dan Pike, and indeed most consistent player. He's started more than anyone else, played more minutes than anyone else. Tino Livramento's been the most regular player for the Blues this term. Chirino with the issue here. Livramento's one of those, Tommy, that, you know, when I said it'll be an interesting summer, those decisions they make at the academy for who we keep, who now is ready for a bit of loan time and at what level. I mean, he is 18 and a half, Tino Livramento.
Yeah.
Ready to go and have a go at somewhere?
He's ready for men's football somewhere, million %. Sheer pace alone he'll be attractive to somebody. I just think he's a very, very good footballer, and he'll get better with that experience of going out on loan.
And in his position today, who's definitely ready for men's football and has had plenty of it, Dujon Sterling.
Yeah, Dujon, he has to get out. PL2 football's no good to Dujon Sterling. He's at the age now where he needs to get out and play men's football, as is George McEachran. I don't see them in this team next year. I see them out, like you said earlier, going on loan somewhere, maybe abroad, but certainly playing men's football.
Dujon's had a a mixed time. He had a lone spell with Wigan that was totally injury hit and never got started. Be a much better one with Cove the year before that. Lewis Bate here, might be another. 15 played anyway on PL2 final day for these two, and Bate delivers. Too close to Jordan Easton, who's barely had a touch. In fact, I think that might be his first of the match, 15 minutes in. He's trying to set Durant on his way. Well read by Henry Lawrence. Well, Chelsea want a free kick, but Lewis Smith not interested.
Yeah, Levi Colwell then breaking forward into them forward areas, and I think there was contact there, but referee, good view, didn't give the decision.
Really good year for Levi. Apart from the last couple that he's missed through injury, really steady performer. Unflappable kind of defender, very much in the Christensen mould. He's had a little bit of England under-19 action as well in the early part of this campaign.
I agree with all of that, and added to that, he's left-footed, and that comes at a premium. So, you know, I think he's been excellent when I've seen him.
Had a fair bit of defending to do in the early stages here. Blackburn on top. One really good chance. Important save from Bergstrom that'll make him feel a bit better. Make him feel in the game. Burns wasting the one-on-one opportunity and trying to get in again here. And Sterling on the cover. Make sure that that comes to nothing.
Yeah, again, it's a 40-yard ball played over the top of the defenders. Again, Dujon Sterling very alert. McClelland actually gets contact on it, but flicks it into the forwards path. Dujon clears the danger.
Wakey is Chirino with the cross. It's a good one as well, that. Colwell got the head on it. They weren't quite alive to the swiftness of Blackburn taking that.
No, Blackburn have been much sharper all over the pitch, and as I said, one or two long balls which we should be defending much better than we are. That should be the goalkeepers are creating some problems for us.
Really doing a good hassling job here, Blackburn. These Chelsea players are not having time on the ball at all. It's like watching Chelsea's first team.
Yeah, and again, that's the point we made last week. They started at such a tempo and got at Chelsea. It was very difficult for us to get our foot on the ball and play our usual style of football, and they're doing exactly the same in the game almost 20 minutes in. And but they will run out of puff, and Chelsea will then be able to get their foot on the ball.
McBride with a the flat, dribbly kind of cross. That's easy pickings for Lucas Bergstrom. Pert Harris using that strong frame, but Chirino in the way. Garrett fouled by Miles Pert Harris. Very quiet 18 minutes for Jordan Easton back there. McEachran looking for the run of George Nunn. Lovely bit of backspin on it. Pert Harris, you know, he's got the strength. Didn't have the finish, though.
No, great little ball initially over the top from George McEachran to Nunn, who made a good run, kept himself onside. Ball went through to Pert Harris. He's got to do better there for me. He's got to be stronger and get something out of it.
Sterling, awkward. They did their tough a bit rather well there. Lovely little chip from McEachran, the kind you'd expect to see from him. Nunn did the right thing. Pert Harris even got his touch right. It's an all too easy spin away from McEachran. It's found its way to Burns here for Blackburn Rovers. That was meant for Garrett. It was easily read by George Nunn. Maybe a counter. Here's Pert Harris again. He's waiting for Dujon Sterling to come and join him. Here he is.
though he's struggling, Pert Harris. He's just gone down. He's just played a simple ball off to Lewis Bate, and he's gone down there, and it looks like he's hurt his foot or toe or something. Great touch from Duchamp there.
Wouldn't really fancy a 50-50 with Dujon Sterling, if I'm honest. Nice way to pass down the line. Nunn is in the middle. If Pert Harris can find him, oh no! The attack remains alive. Shots on, shots over. What a waste. Two great chances for Chelsea to pinch the lead, having been very much on the back foot early on here. Henry Lawrence second time around, and George Nunn lost his composure when it mattered there.
It was a fantastic ball from Pert Harris, straight into his path, and as you say, lack of concentration. I talked about confidence. His last two games got 2 goals. You'd think he'd be at the top of his confidence there, but he snatched at it and unfortunately he dribbled wide of that target. But again, Pert Harris involved. He did the same at the end of the game last week. He hit a fantastic ball similar to that to Fia Beamer, who again, his first touch let him down.
Yeah, centre forward's been a bit of an issue this term. One of those positions that has seen a fair bit of change. Hudson-Odoi Bell is just starting to knock on the door with all those youth team goals.
Yeah, surprised not to see him on the bench today, because he was on the bench last week, but not involved at all.
Yes, the youth team have got a couple more games left than the PL2 boys, but Hudson-Odoi Bell would like to think he'd have gobbled up one of these 2 chances. The Nunn one we've just seen, and that was the Pert Harris effort. They both barely made contact with the ball, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, poor first touch there as well. Good first touch, poor second touch from Pert Harris, and Nunn's obviously was a poor first touch.
Brian Fia-Beamer is the striking option that is on the bench, incidentally, with no Hudson-Odoi Bell. That should be a free kick, and is. Referee just waiting to see if anything came of it. Harvey Vale fouled.
Yeah, did really, really well there. Chased the lost cause, and said him and Dan Pike having a real good battle over there. And he gets the better of that of the challenge, and Pike comes back and just clips his heels there.
Couple of hours against Blackburn and somehow managed to keep a clean sheet in that time, and there aren't many of them at this level for Andy and the boys. A chance for McEachran, that left foot of his, to cause some trouble. McClelland in there, Levi Colwell in there. It's going to get to them. It will only have been via a slice. That's not one of George's best, is it? Nice idea from Bate to try and find him, though. Right ball, played wrongly. Blackburn thinking about a counter-attack, but the Blues in pink, back quickly.
Well, the thing about a counter-attack, because Sam Barnes, the captain, got intercepted the ball and he went forward there, and they looked to continue into the box, but they played the ball back, so it was a chance for Chelsea to break away.
Good pressure on the ball. Excellent. Mbuyamba picked his moment and timed it really well. Vale stayed strong. That is a good ball. Tough for Lawrence, tight angle. Nicely played, though, that. Best little passage of play.
Fantastic play. And again, George McEachran involved with a great little ball fed over the top. Great run from Henry Lawrence there. They got him in behind the defence. Unfortunately, the touch was good, but he couldn't get the cross in and create a problem. But again, good movement from the back there.
And all started off by this young player who feels new, even though he's been around for a while. He hasn't been playing. Xavier Mbuyamba is out of contract at Barcelona last year. Not fit until the very end of this season. But he's been straight into start once he has been fit. He didn't come off the bench with that first touch. Goal.
starting to get the touch on the ball, and the passing's a little bit crisper. And in saying that, Dujon Sterling's first touch lets him down and we give a throw on away. But far better in this last sort of 5-10 minutes. It was a great ball from McEachran. He said his first touch was okay, but he couldn't get his left foot round and get it into that danger area.
Could have been a tap in for George Nunn, that. Did control it nicely. Here's Durant. Solid again from Mbuyamba. What sort of defender do you think we're looking at in these very early days of seeing him, Tom, with him, Mbuyamba?
Well, one thing I'll say, he's got plenty of size and presence about him. He looks good on the ball, and he's got a yard of pace, so that's a good starting point. But you know, and I look at our back three generally, I think, as you said earlier, McClellan hasn't had much game time. He's done well, and obviously Colwell's come in and done well. So I'm looking at them three centre backs and think they've all got chances of sorts, you know.
It's Daniel Simiu's the one who's been missing out, having previously been an ever-present and the skipper, but for a long while in this second half of the campaign, out on merit, if you see what I mean. Jack Wakely had a few games, he's out on loan. .26 goalless minutes, but not without chances. Could have easily had goals at both ends here. Burns with the run in behind. He was onside. McClellan with the foot in. He looks busy, Burns. Here's McBride, his partner up there.
He's a handful, Ben, and you've got to be on your mettle at the back. If you lack any sort of concentration at any time, you know he's going to be making them runs in behind. And as you see, they're trying to feed him on every occasion.
Pert Harris just squeezed into a corner there. Needed to release earlier, and then the moment was gone. Whitehall slipping it through. Important challenge from Colwell as McBride sticks it right across the face of the box. Oh, that could have gone anywhere. It's going to be a corner.
I think Harvey Val got contact on that. I think they're going to take a short corner here, but again, it's the fullback getting forward. Dan Pike drives it across the box there.
Might even have taken a couple of outside edges on its way through. Better half an hour for Blackburn. No goals yet. Chirino. Keeper is the shout. That's been a good end. Won 3 of the last 4 games, the Blues. The odd one out there being the Man U defeat, and they were 1 up before the pretty early Lucas Bergstrom red card, so that might easily have gone the other way. Strong finish. Strong first half of the season for sure. Just some annoying wobbles in between, Tom. We kept feeling we were seeing the same game. Arsenal, Liverpool, Derby. Better side in front, give away a daft goal or 2 and don't win. That's kind of what was happening from restart, sort of February, March time.
Totally agree. Obviously, I think we did the Liverpool game together, and the striker was giving stick to all game, got the winning goal because he never touched it in 90 minutes, and that probably summed up the performance on the day. Chelsea far superior, but Liverpool got the result. And you look at United away, as you rightly said, I think we beat them 6 at home, and obviously went and got beat there, but the sending off certainly doesn't help.
In front early through Miles Pert Harris in that game, but then Bergstrom red carded. Henry Lawrence got one at the end, but it's 4-2 United. Yeah, that 6-0 is what put Chelsea top going into the winter break, actually. Following on from that absolutely brilliant game we brought you against Tottenham, where everything happened.
You know, I'm a massive fan of Andy Myers and John Harley, but they've done great. I mean, every week the squad changes, the team personnel changes. Even last week, Lewis Bate wasn't available, so he's had to mix and match. And I think generally the performances of the boys have been very, very good.
Yeah, there's half a dozen players who've been regulars who aren't playing here, or who would be, could be.
You talked about Livramento, you've got Ballo, you've got a few of the boys that Lewis. Again, three regulars when we've done the game.
Tino Andrin knocking on the first team door, which is what this is for ultimately. Let's not forget. And from the academy boys' selfish point of view, the annoying thing, I suppose, has been the fact there haven't been any injuries. Blackburn trying to find a 2-on-1 here. I mean, it's incredible, the first team situation. We've come these final few weeks of the season, and Kovacic, the only one out, everyone else fit. There's been plenty of time when all 23 have been fit. Nunn lays it off. Pert Harris thought about the shot, tries to dink one in there too close to Easton.
It's a lazy ball though. Miles Pert Harris has got so much ability, and I said it last week, he just frustrates me. He strolls around the pitch. I'd like to see just a touch more urgency with that ball. He just, you know, if he whips it in with a bit of pace, there he is getting back there. Love that about him, reacted well, but he's got to do better with that initial ball. Yes,
he's definitely one of those who's got the tools. Just want to see it that little bit more often. There was an element of Ruben Loftus-Cheek about him. I always thought of Ruben, or he kind of gave that impression that he was not strolling about, but a little bit of that. And part of that is in literally the physiology of the movement, and that's how they run. And so, you know, a bit like Kai Havertz can look a bit like that sometimes.
Absolutely, and I think obviously he isn't at the moment, that's for sure. But so they do have languid movements. You're right, and I think he's the same. Miles Pert Harris. He seems very relaxed on the ball, and I'd just like to see a little bit more oomph, a little more pace in his game, because I think he's very capable of being a very good footballer.
Durant was thinking about letting go there, probably should have pulled the trigger. There might have just been a moment where he could have tried to curl one. Bate doing his best to give the busy Burns the slip, but he's a pesky forward. Kind you really don't want to play against, I would imagine, if you're a centre-half, Sam Burns.
I have to say, Ben, I've had the pleasure of doing a lot of these games this year. He is the hardest working striker I think I've seen. I mean, and what we're 32 minutes into this, he did 90 last week. He was absolutely driving people mad with his enthusiasm and his work rate.
He used to have one of those in these parts, who made friends with Chelsea on a few occasions. Paul Dickoff. He was a bit like that. Relentless energy. Annoying.
Total
buzzing
nuisance,
around. Nuisance factor.
It's exactly what Tony Cruz saw the other night with N'Golo Kanté. Buzzing around, nicking balls off of him and creating 2 goals.
I didn't think it was possible, but I think he might have even gone up a level in these knockout European games. N'Golo Kanté, unbelievable.
Oh, he's become unbelievable.
Porto, Atletico and Real, I mean, just him and Jorginho, in fairness, just in there. Absolutely no chance. The paucity of chances for opponents as with Chelsea making it to Istanbul. You know, Real were lucky to get out of that with 3-1.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Atletico didn't lay a glove on Chelsea, nor did Porto, really. Doesn't matter how much of the ball they might have had. These top teams in European knockout games limited to about 3 chances across 6 games of football between them.
Yep, very proud of the performances. Got 1 more to go.
Now, Pert Harris, heavy touch. Stays alive, though, the attack with Dujon Sterling here. Chirino went with him. Did all he could, really, to dig that out. Well done, Dujon, because that was tight.
Yeah, it was, and again, it was a good battle last week. The little boy, Chirino, did very well, and Dujon there gets the better of him, digs into the far post, but again, the other fullback, Dan Pike, gets it away for another set piece for Chelsea.
Another moment that could have been there for Miles Pert Harris. Real shame about that control. Just half the ball, I think. Bate with the corner then. About 10 minutes to half-time. McClelland stooping to try and flick it on. Henry Lawrence.
The ball that is from Levi
Colwell. Huge, great switch. Pert Harris again. There's a lot of blue and white in front of him. Dujon Sterling, it's a good job he got his little chop right there, and he did very well. And he's still going. Such a powerful runner. Harvey Vale.
Oh, no.
Well, Dujon Sterling there has taken a near Blackburn counter-attacking goal and turned it into a Chelsea chance.
Well, the first ball from Pert Harris put him in trouble, and but he got to the byline again. It's a great ball heading to the far post. Harvey Vale doesn't come in on the end of it like he did on the last one, and the ball falls to Lewis Bate. It's a poor shot over the top of the bar, but again, Dujon doing fantastic to get his crossing.
He's got better technique than that, Lewis Bate. Strikes a mean ball, it's why he's often on set-piece duty.
You know, we've seen a couple of set pieces, Ben. You made the point about George McEachran, and that last corner from Lewis Bate wasn't the best either, and the strike. I just think they're out of sorts a little bit in midfield. We've seen a couple of through balls from George that has hit the target, but I'd like to see Lewis Bate a little bit more involved.
Yes, and I feel it's passing Henry Lawrence by a little bit as well, who's often been a really important player and a force for good. Not really massively involved either. Pert Harris with the little layoff here to Sterling. That's a nice way to pass. Dujon Sterling's had a good half hour here. Pert Harris, nicely done, Harvey Vale. This would be a lovely goal. Yo! That's a fabulous goal. Well played, Chelsea. Henry Lawrence has been involved now. He stuck the ball in, but that was brilliant from back to front.
Right, Dujon Sterling, what a great ball. The pace of the ball gives Pert Harris a chance. First time dink into the middle. Great first touch from Harvey Vale. Sets it up for Henry Lawrence, who slides it into the far corner. Quality finish. And again, it's the first real move we've had which has been flowing and the passing's been crisp. End up in the back of the net.
Blackburn certainly had the better of the first 20 minutes. Chelsea coming into it more, and that is a lovely move. Dujon Sterling, pat on the back. He's had a really good half. It's a lovely weight of pass there after a couple of very tidy crosses. And the brains trust of Beanie, Myers and Harley just discussing that on the Chelsea bench there. Captain for the day and Chelsea goal scorer. Well done, Henry Lawrence. Would have been a regular for Andy Myers, I'm sure, during the course of this season. Henry Lawrence, he did miss a fair chunk at the same time actually as Marcel Lewis and Miles Pert Harris, just when they started again after that ridiculously long layoff. Didn't get going again till February. 49 days I think it was in between. The winter break wasn't supposed to be that long. Sterling again, that took a little nick off Chirino, who's certainly in a game here and he knows it. Up against Dujon Sterling, all the best.
Yeah, Chirino last week was getting forward at will, but this time Dujon Sterling again is pushing him back into areas he doesn't want to be. It's a great little ball again, going to be aimed at the near post, but he gets the touch on it. Could have snuck in at the near post there, but keeper got it, but couldn't save it from going through a corner. Right, let's see if Bate can get his usual delivery on us here. Someone answer that telephone. McClelland, Mbuyamba and Colwell are there, and Eastham tried to pull that away. I don't think he left it. I think he was trying to pour it away and he just missed it. Well, he's got away with it. Called for it. I think everyone stopped because he called for it. No one's really reacted and it's just missed everybody and gone outside the far post. Needed a gambler there. 7 minutes to the break or thereabouts. Probably be added on, won't it? We've had a couple of stoppages and a goal. And there's Mbuyamba doing that again, twice, and twice successful. Bride deep for Blackburn. You might be wondering what they've got to do, having created some chances last week and shut out somehow by Chelsea. It's happened again here in this first half, despite playing pretty well for a big chunk of this first half. Hopefully that goal will see Chelsea maybe just push on and grow in confidence. Happy to play in such tight areas.
Foul against Levi Colwill there.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was a free kick. I mean, it certainly was contact, but it looked like a 50-50 challenge to me. Homer linesman over there. Sam McClellan's got a cut eye by the looks of it, Ben.
That's GPRS, in case you're wondering, folks. A footballer's form of underwear. You cannot rest at any level because they know what you're doing. It's all fed into the computers.
They're watching you.
Sam, you were still for 2 minutes around just before half-time. I was getting treatment. But it does monitor it all.
Treatment quicker. Yeah.
Bashir Humphreys, young option on the bench. Youth team regular, but certainly not a PL2 regular. Bashir.
Strange, I didn't actually see the contact that's given him this cut, so hopefully nothing too serious.
Right, switch back on. You never like set plays when there's just been a bit of a wait, especially when one of your big defenders is off the field getting treatment. Extra defensive responsibility on the likes of Harris and co here. This would be annoying. Oh, goodness me, that's a big up and under. And Pert Harris was back there. To say they didn't make the most of that free kick would be an understatement. Here he goes again, Burns, but Colwill stays cool, yeah, as usual.
There, didn't he, Colwill? Burns is buzzing around and he's just strolling, Colwill. He's got so much ability, that young man.
No immediate signs that he's coming back on yet. And he's... well, Brian Fearbama's coming on. I wonder if that's something that hasn't stopped bleeding, Tommy, or maybe concussion. Too far away to tell from here, but...
Yeah, well, I'd imagine Henry Lawrence will come over to the right-hand side. Dujon will go centre-half, and, you know, Harvey Val will drop back in that left position, so it shouldn't matter too much, Ben.
Early introduction. Pert Harris here. Lawrence coming to support. First time cross is on, first time cross is played. It didn't beat the first man. Chirino clears. And Sterling. We've got a minute in theory, but we'll have more than that. Oh, nicely done.
Harvey Val, brilliant.
Fearbama's there. Ready for a killer first touch, maybe. Harvey Val puts the brakes on. It's behind Fearbama. Lawrence has got another.
Oh, brilliant. I've got to tell you, Harvey Val is magnificent in this goal. I mean, he actually shrugs off the challenge there, a lot brighter than the defender, and then uses his pace to get in behind the centre-half, the captain here. And then he pulls out a very intelligent ball here, stops there, looks up, a very intelligent ball in, a miss hit from Henry Lawrence. But that's 2 from 2, one from the left and one from the right.
That's a great job. See you later, Sam Barnes. Sent off into the hoardings, practically. Well, he had a really quiet 25 minutes or so, Henry Lawrence. The skipper's on a hat-trick.
I think he heard you say we need to see a little bit more out of Henry, and he's 2 for 2 in the box. And again, it's left wing back to right wing back.
Another glimpse there of the early maturing of Harvey Vale.
Actually, I tell Phibbs, that's George Nunn gone back to left wing back.
Where he has played actually a couple of times this season.
Yeah.
And here he comes. And actually played really well the couple of games I've seen him play there. It's a very steady deputy.
I think, he certainly played there when we played Arsenal away, and he did very well that night.
Now Pert Harris. He's not quite been on it this half. If he had been, probably Chelsea could be even further in front, which sounds odd because Blackburn, large chunks of this half, look very strong indeed.
But he's done very well there. I agree with you. I think he's, as I said, he's languid in his movements, and sometimes that doesn't look very good. And a couple of occasions there, he should have been a little bit sharper in his movement. But he worked really hard there to get a set piece and another corner for Chelsea. I think that's the captain there, Ben. Sam Barnes gone down. There's a couple of 50-50 challenges, and looks as though he might just have hurt his left leg there.
A half of two halves, this. Chelsea looking good for second place. If you missed it at the top of the show, victory here guarantees it. With others to play, but Chelsea a point clear in second, with almost the whole division having one game left. There's a couple of teams who have finished. 4 matches in all today, 2 more on Monday night, which will complete the relegation picture. Leicester City are playing Liverpool on Monday night. It could go down, or West Ham. Leicester or West Ham will go down. 2 up, 2 down. Injuries at the back for both bosses to deal with here. Looks like Barnes is more okay than McClellan, but now it's Blackburn missing a big centre-back for a set-piece. McEachran in there! And it's Mbuyamba jumping pretty freely on the edge of that 6-yard box. That was a great chance for 3.
Was a much better ball in from George McEachran. Mbuyamba, he gets up there, gets up really well. Not really challenged, and the keeper just sticks an arm up there and just flicks it over the bar. But you talk about the centre-half going off, that was crucial there, because Mbuyamba had a free header.
He's the tallest of the lot. See him there, lurking there in the number 2 shirt for Chelsea. It's a very crowded 6-yard box. Look how empty it is around where the penalty spot is. Quite often you'll get teams clustering up there ready to make their charge, but here the plan is clearly to really get it in there under the keeper, although it will be an outie from the left boot of McEachran. That was, you're right, much better delivery last time. 3 minutes of stoppage time played. That's into Bate. It's very scrappy. And Lawrence does well. Well, that's worked out well. Blackburn started the half impressively, and then Chelsea took over with Vale and Sterling all doing really well to help the skipper for the day to 2 goals. Henry Lawrence with both of them, as Chelsea, chasing runners-up spot in the PL2, have themselves handily positioned for exactly that. The final game of the season has reached half-time. It is Blackburn 0, Chelsea 2. Let's have a look at some of the main moments. Didier Sterling in a more advanced role there. You see plenty of him over the course of it, but it was Blackburn making the early running, Tom. That's a pretty simple ball. Big stop for Lucas Bergstrom here to deny Burns.
Yeah, I mean, Blackburn were all over Chelsea at this stage. Started very brightly, and the striker Sam Burns has been a real handful there. Makes a simple run over the top. The ball finds him. I think the ball gets caught underneath his feet here, but it's a good save from Bergstrom.
A couple of fluffed off opportunities. That was Sterling playing it to Pert Harris. Great first-time ball from him. George Nunn took his eye off the ball, I think. And there was another chance here. Henry Lawrence putting it over.
Yeah, again, it's the right-hand side. Dujon Sterling been key to this first half successes and plays a great ball to Pert Harris. The ball into George Nunn's a real good one, but his first touch lets him down here. And as you can say, He's trying to shoot there, but just loses concentration.
Lawrence's half would get better, don't worry about that. McEachran here with a delicious ball to find the run of Lawrence. There he was trying to pick out George Nunn.
The ball from McEachran again, fantastic. First touch was decent, but he just can't get it out under control with his left foot there, and it dribbles into the goalkeeper's arms.
This is McBride here pulling it across, and then Pike smashing in a low ball, one of those really awkward ones. If it ends up in the back of the net, you wouldn't be surprised.
No, I think there was, as you said in commentary, I think there was 2 deflections there from Pike. He drives it across that danger area and just misses the far post.
And then came the Chelsea goals. Lovely weight of pass from Dujon Sterling. Miles Peart-Harris with the pull back. Harvey Vale, real composure from him, and a calm finish too from Henry Lawrence.
Yeah, again, it's the quality of the ball down the right-hand side from Dujon Sterling, which runs straight in the path of Miles Peart-Harris there. And it's a great little ball fed into a dangerous area. Good first touch from Harvey Vale. Just feeds it into Henry Lawrence's path, and he tucks it away into that far corner. Great finish.
One of the youngest members of the squad, Harvey Vale, not part of the PL2 picture in the early part of the season. He was playing for Ed Brand and the youth team, but really, really strong half from him, and a huge hand in both goals. This was the second. Everything about that was quality, and a pretty simple finish, really, for Henry Lawrence.
Well, it ended up being a simple finish just purely because of Harvey Vale's quality there. He just shrugs off the defender there on a 50-50 challenge, runs at the back 4 there, gets past Sam Barnes very, very easily there, and then has the intelligence to stop, look up, picks the pass straight into Henry Lawrence's path, and it's not the greatest finish, but ends up in the back of the net, and that's Henry Lawrence, 2 goals on the score sheet.
A happy half-time lead then for the Blues. Good news all over the club at the moment, which leads us, while we wait for the teams to come out for the second half, to the hopefully all-conquering women. What a season for Emma Hayes and her side. The quadruple is on, and a bit of European history already made with the first final. Here's a bit of unseen extra from Chelsea against Bayern.
Like, I've been an assistant in this position, but to be the manager, to lead my team out, is such a proud day for English football and for Chelsea Football Club. And I just want to say a big thank you to our owner and the board for the support they've shown me in my 9 years, because they've backed me the whole way, and I hope that I've delivered a result and the performances again that they can be proud of.
One step beyond indeed for Emma Hayes. The only uncharted territory thus far has been a Champions League final. Could yet be a quadruple, but that is the one after 3 losing semi-finals to come through against Bayern. You're going to play Barcelona, Tommy. Barcelona, who beat Paris Saint-Germain, who beat Lyon, who win it every year. So it's a tough one to call, but yet more club history, and we might even have that incredible double.
As that records by, it is total madness. It is absolutely. What Emma's done has been fantastic. I mean, the way she's conducted herself, I mean, even after the last game, we saw her interview here last week, and the look of steel in her eyes, it frightened the life out of me, Ben. And I have to say, she just had such a willpower to get through that tie and get into the final. It was there for everyone to see, and I think she's been fantastic. I think her team's been fantastic. They've played some fantastic football. They've hung in there, even in the game recently against Bayern, when they got the 3rd goal. Obviously, the away goal kills them. They've had to defend for their lives, and they got the breakaway, got that 4th goal, which settled the nerves, and great credit to them all.
Day after the FA Cup final, it will be Chelsea against Barcelona in Gothenburg. 2 weeks before Chelsea and Manchester City in Istanbul. Madness, obviously, move it to Wembley, but I don't think that'll be happening. So it could be the most unique double. And this weekend, they're going to be finishing off the WSL campaign against Reading and hopefully sorting out the title in that regard. The reason they're in such a strong position is because they beat Spurs in midweek. Becky Spencer in goal for Tottenham, former Chelsea keeper for a couple of years, made about 11 world-class saves. Otherwise, it would have been a lot more than 2-0. Sam Kerr got both. The first you've just seen, and the second following in there. What it means is, because the goal difference is superior to City, that a point against Reading, and it really should be all 3, will more than likely be enough unless Manchester City score a silly amount of goals. But let's not hang on for that. Let's finish it off with a win. With the League Cup already in the bag, the FA Cup ongoing. It could be a highly decorated season all over the gaff for Chelsea Football Club. Here at PL2 level, there won't be silverware, the title not being retained, but next best thing could be runners-up. 2 goals to the good, thanks to captain Henry Lawrence. Just have a quick reminder of those before the players come back out for the second half. And lots of pats on the back here. Dujon Sterling, Miles Peart-Harris and Harvey Vale. Quite apart from the finish, Tom, which was nice.
It was, yeah. No, I'll give Peart-Harris a little bit of stick, just because he was a little bit languid for me. He actually, the first ball out to Dujon was his. Then he makes the run in behind. It's a great ball from Dujon, great pace on it. Defender can't get to it. Picks a lovely ball out to Harvey Vale. Great first touch. Feeds it into a lovely area, and that's a quality finish from Henry Lawrence there.
Just a lot of composure all round there. No one rushing anything. Everyone just taking it at a nice pace. No one snatching at anything. The ball to the winger, the cross from him, and then Harvey Vale. This was more about brute force and then a little bit of class at the end.
Well, it was brute force, but he certainly fought out the pass. I mean, he's stopped there. The defenders all stopped, and he's picked out a lovely pass to Henry Lawrence there. It was a simple tap, and he doesn't hit it very well, but he doesn't need to. And he shrugs off the first challenge, goes past the centre half and captain here. Then he just stops, picks his spot, plays it back into a lovely area, and it's a simple tap in for Henry Lawrence.
Jordan Eastham didn't have that many saves to make that Lawrence has done him here. They're all running that way. I'll put it back where it came from and into the bottom corner. Nicely done. Brian Fearbamer on for Sam McClelland, an enforced change during the course of that half. We'll see if there's any more in the interval, which will be over shortly. A reminder, do you know Chelsea are playing Man City a couple of times this month? That is going to be fascinating. Do join us tomorrow for all the pre-match and team news from 4:20. I wonder, Tommy, I'm not saying the result has a bearing on it, but with Wembley in mind, that only happened, what, 2-3 weeks ago, with Tuchel clearly outthinking Guardiola, I thought on that day, City looked lacking ideas, and Kepa didn't have a save to make. What do you give away tomorrow? Do you give anything away? Do you do any bluffs? I mean, City can, of course, win the title, but they're going to do that. Thomas can't muck about because fourth is still, you know, yes, we're in the box seat, but by no means assured yet, and there's other tough games to come. So what do? You play your absolute best side and show him your hand when you're going to be playing again in Istanbul?
I think we've got 3 weeks of every game matters. You know, you look at this one, obviously it matters tomorrow. You've got Arsenal in midweek, it matters. Leicester in the FA Cup final, it matters. Then Leicester at home, it matters. And it could matter Aston Villa away before we actually go to Istanbul. So there's a lot of pressure on Thomas Tuchel to get it right. And by the way, he's got it right more often than not this year so far. So I would suggest he goes there. He looks at, yes, it was a big game for us on Wednesday night, and Man City sort of strolled through theirs a little bit. They had a slightly easier tie, so I just feel he'll look at the people that, like N'Golo Kanté, for instance, who was magnificent. Is he still going to be buzzing tomorrow? Is he still going to? You know, you've got 6 games left. You need him at top level. So Kovacic, is he anywhere near fitness? I don't think he'll be involved tomorrow, but obviously Wednesday night perhaps. So he'll look at his squad. He'll see who's fresher, who's not, and I think there'll be changes tomorrow. He's not afraid of changes, and I think there'll be changes tomorrow.
Fair few people ran themselves into the ground. Cesar Azpilicueta's still in his ice bath, I think. Reece James had to come off him near the end. He was blowing out of everything, was Dave, but yes, it's going to be really interesting to see. I should think Guardiola will probably mix it up a fair bit too, because he tends to overthink these things. But
well, I think Raheem Sterling again came on as sub for Phil Foden the other day, and I think he'll start. I think he'll get sort of 85, 90 minutes. So again, that should be interesting. But listen, I just looked at the photo there was Sergio Aguero. Is he going to be involved? Because he's got very few games left for Man City, the way it's all going. So lots of options for both managers tomorrow.
Harvey Vale helping on the early ball here. I hope Chelsea can see this one out and finish second. Blackburn will be looking at a really poor run to end the campaign. It'll be 2 points from 18 if they lose this. They will end at best 4th, probably not that, but they too could still technically finish second themselves, but they're going to need to outscore Chelsea by 3 goals in this second half. Here's Nunn, who we think is, despite that number 9 shirt, now in the reshuffle, very much left-sided. Dujon Sterling shifting. Hat-trick hero potential. Henry Lawrence as a right wing-back. He's pretty happy in that position. Lewis Bate. Barnes with the clearance. He's come back out for Blackburn after some treatment late in that half. That was rather easy for Fia Bema. He's lurking between centre-back and left-back. Fia Bema will hope to finish the season as he started it. He was banging them in the early couple of months. That's nicely played. Here's George Nunn. It's a little rolly ball on for Harvey Vale there.
Yeah, well, Harvey Vale made a nice little run there. I think just slide him in there, but he decides to cross the ball and aimed at Fia Bema, but keep a nice easy catch for him.
Harlock battling away and winning it back well, having lost it. Blackburn have got to feel they can score the first goal of this second half, and there'd be no reason not to. They have, like that. He was able to turn and shoot. It's Durant, and it's a hell of a goal, and it's game on.
Yeah, it is, and it all started on this left-hand side. George Nunn gave the ball away. Colwell went on his outside, and Nunn lost the ball. He got played in the centre of the box here, and it's a good first touch, gets it out of his feet, looks up, takes it back on his left foot there, and he smashes it into the top corner. Bergstrom, absolutely no chance. It's a quality finish, and not what we wanted a couple of minutes into this second half.
Tut, McEachran and Amber, both of them turned their back in that. It's something you see too much nowadays, I think, at every level, to be honest. There are very few John Terrys who just put their face in the way. Angry Myers, there you go. It's a scary face. Don't see that very often, actually.
No, but I think the goal, whilst it was a quality finish, I think that the build-up was a frustration, and now we've put ourselves under the cosh. They started the first half like this, but didn't have any strikes at goal, only that one that Bergstrom saved. But this is not the way we wanted to start the second half, for sure.
Gives them tons of time as well as belief. It's, McBride just trying to nip in quickly, but no, not yet. Pike taking his time. Oh, are you sure? Miles Peart-Harris there looked like he just picked his pocket.
That is a shocking decision. I mean, I think it's the goal scorer who loses possession of the ball here, and for me, he's just running away from him. There's very little contact there. That's a shocking decision.
Not only is it a Blackburn free kick, it might well have been a Chelsea counter-attack. Miles Peart-Harris too laid back to foul anyone. Really got away with one there, Blackburn. Pike is going to leave it. This is Jared Harlock. Queuing up round the back. Goal kick.
Yeah, that was the captain, Sam Barnes, there getting on the end of it. Henry Lawrence is picking him up there, and he makes contact but can't steer it onto the target.
Good bad one, as you would say, Tommy.
Yeah, it was a good bad one. It ended up at the Chelsea shirt. Very happy.
Chance for a good one. Safety first is Lewis Bate. George Dunn. Colwell.
I'm not so sure Andy will want Levi Colwell going past George Nunn too many times. George gave it away there for the goal, and obviously Levi couldn't get back, so I think just let George Nunn do that job for a while and settle things down.
Yes, and leave the underlapping centre-halves to Chris Wilder and Sheffield United.
Absolutely.
Or wherever he may end up.
To play his trade next, yeah. He did well last year, but not so well this year.
At least we won't see David McGoldrick scoring against Chelsea every time he plays against them. Unless he gets a move, of course. One change so far from Andy Myers, an enforced one. Bang on the head for Sam McClelland. But he didn't go for a straight swap. He did have young Bashir Humphreys, who could definitely play in a back two or a back three, no problem there. But, Brian Fear-Bamer brought on, and George Nunn moving to wing back. Henry Lawrence shifting, and Dujon Sterling shifting, so plenty of changes. Here is Sterling, still trying to be an architect with his passing, which he did very well when he was starting on the right side, as he was, with that number 7 on his back. It's a shame to have lost that, really, especially in the absence of Tino Livramento, to not have Dujon gunning up there. But
yeah,
Henry Lawrence is
he's no mean replacement. You know, he's got legs and he's got good quality in the final third. But so we need to get him on the ball, because at the moment Blackburn are bossing it after that shock goal early in the second half.
I suspect they would feel, just on the general balance of play, that they had not been 2 goals worse off than Chelsea. Here's Harvey Vale again, trying to make a difference again. 2 assists already for young Harvey. A regular at this level at 17. You don't get that very often. He's got the physique, the temperament, and the touch for it. Harris gives it away, but wins it back. Even made that look easy. That's lovely from McEachran. That's not. Scuffed it, Henry Lawrence.
It was sloppy. A couple of sloppy balls early in the second half, and we're keeping Blackburn in the game.
They've only lost 6 games, which is not a bad campaign at this level, one of them being last week to Chelsea. Do well to only lose half a dozen, given the changes that all clubs have to make a lot. Lose players to first teams and loans and youth cups and things like that. Very difficult to have a consistent season.
Yeah, and that's the point I made about Andy Myers and John Harley earlier. Exactly that. Go on, Brian.
Villabema's in. Great chance. Buried. 2-goal lead restored. The subs on the score sheet. Opened up. Huge gap right through the middle. Well done, Brian Villabema. Well done, Levi Colwell, for getting in there. And well done, Harvey Vale again. Hat-trick of assists.
Yeah, I have to say, I think it's Isaac Whitehall where he's looking at the halfway line. He doesn't concentrate, and Colwell nicks the ball off him. It's a great little ball with his right foot there into the path of Villabema. He's still got plenty to do, but picks his spot, hits the target, and ends up in the back of the net. And that should hopefully quell the fire that Blackburn came out with in this second half.
Well taken. He's had a few one-on-ones this term that he hasn't stuck away in some important moments as well in matches. He went a long old time without a goal, 13 without, and then he scored against Fylde in the Youth Cup. And now he's back on the mark at PL2 level. Excellent. 3-1.
This game, you know, it's a war of attrition. You've got to stick at it, and we've seen Jules Nunn the last couple of games get goals. I know he's missed a chance today, and Villabema have been guilty of some gilt-edged chance misses. I remember one at Arsenal away where he just tried to blast it when he blasted it over the bar.
At 1-0 up.
When it was easier to pass it into the net. So that was and we ended up drawing the game. But great to see that finish there, because it was full of confidence. It hit the target, and it was a good finish.
Nunn has been dispossessed. It's up to Burns. There's Bergstrom.
It makes me laugh. I mean, Sardi, the substitute there, is looking at the referee, but he just smashed him in the back.
Clear to see, no one else around them. Not going to get away with that, especially these days. It's good to get it quickly after they scored, just when they're thinking, right, we are right back in this. No, you aren't. They could get there again. Oh, that's a beautiful reverse ball from Pert Harris. Oh, flag up on Brian Villabema, who's just trying a little nutmeg on Sardi there to get the right-footed shot away.
Yeah, he did again. Again, it's Colwell involved again, nicking the ball on the halfway line, breaking forward, and playing an intelligent ball forward. And as you said, it couldn't have been a lot in that, Ben. I didn't see a blatant offside, that's for sure.
Important second ball picked up by George McEachran there. That's the job when you've got the number 6 on, that's for sure. Still more than half an hour to go in this game. An entertaining end to the PL2 season. If the points stay with Chelsea, second place is assured.
McEachran, lovely little flick over the oncoming Blackburn defender there.
It's another one of those players who makes things look effortless. Here's McBride, danger, chance, well done Lucas Bergstrom. Levi Colwell trying to take charge, and Lewis Bates saying, don't worry, I've got it. Oh, off you go, Harvey Vale. Nearly stepping in well, Sam Barnes for Blackburn.
It's got a little bit about it, the game, is. I think it's certainly, obviously, the goal just after half-time's livened Chelsea up a little bit, and their goal is livened Blackburn up. So there's plenty of action out there, and plenty of honesty and endeavour.
The boys have had a wee bit less football than they might normally have. That's a rarely heavy touch from George McEachran this term. Only the 3 cup games in the Football League trophy, for once not getting through at that level. Well, there's a chance. Well, 2 chances, really. The flick header to begin with, and then Harlock coming in probably on the stretch. Am I doing him too much of a favour there?
Well, I think, first of all, this is the first chance they miss, and Bergstrom gets a foot on it, and then eventually Levi Cole gets it in. But the ball in from Durrant's really, really good, and I think it's Isaac Whitehall breaking into the box, gets the first flick, and the second one just evades the guy coming in at the far stick. So, great ball in, but wasn't punished.
Half a chance, certainly, for Harlock. It's he who got robbed for that Fear Bamer goal, the Chelsea third. Of course, no Europe, that's the other thing. So not only no knockout cup ties for Andy in the squad, but no UEFA Youth League, sadly, for them, which is a real shame for those who might miss out entirely. But, should be back for many of them next term. Those who remain at under 19. It's another great flick. Harvey Vale is having some game here. Miles Pert-Harris. Is that a penalty?
I have to say, it's right on the ball.
Is he given that as a free kick or a pen?
I think that's a very tight decision. I think he's probably got it right. At first impressions, I thought it might have been on the edge of the box, but no, contact definitely made outside. Good decision from the referee there.
Again, Vale, superb. 17.5 years old. He has been excellent in this game, Harvey Vale. He made that move possible. I was half expecting to see a flag there, Tom. It must have been quite close.
It was. I think it was borderline. I agree. As I said, Pert-Harris got onto it eventually, and the young fullback comes across. It's a definite cynical free kick. I don't think he's been booked for it. But again, a chance for someone like McEachran with his left foot, Lewis Bate with his left foot to get on it.
Chirino was cautioned. Henry Lawrence, he's captain. He's not the shoutiest kind. I wondered if he might pull rank because he wants the hat-trick, but no, he's lurking at the back of the D.
He's waiting for it to hit the wall, come back out, and he's going to smash in the rebound. That's what he's waiting for.
Well, Pert-Harris, Bate and McEachran. You've got 2 lefties, but it will be the righty. It will not be 4-1, over the top. I want to be top scorer, that's the thing. Yeah. Him and Tieno Ballo, joint top.
Yeah, he said 7 each, so
yes.
As I said, in this remaining 29 minutes, I'm sure he'd like to get his name on the score sheet and win that battle.
Here's Chirino. His tug on Miles Pert-Harris. I think that's the right decision. You pull someone back there, it's probably got to be a yellow card. But he knew where he was, I guess. Decent bearings. He went to let go just in time. Sterling's header on the cover is Mbuyamba, who draws a smart free kick. How very 2021 that was.
Oh yeah, very much a defender's delight. As soon as they feel that contact, they go over. But Mbuyamba's impressed me again today. I think his pace, he sees where the ball's going to be played. He reads the game very well. And as I said, look at him. He's a giant. He's got great physical presence as well.
Yes, he seems to have things. I don't want to speak too soon, but he looks like the kind of defender that has things in hand. You know what I mean? Like quite a sort of a mature young player, if that's not a contradiction in terms. He looks like he's in charge of the situation whenever there is a situation.
Totally agree. I think maybe that's come to the Barcelona training. I don't know, but basically for me, as I said, I think he's got a lot of that, and as has Levi Cole on the other side.
Apologies for the Gremlins. Half an hour to play. Chelsea 2/3 of the way to a winning end. It has been actually a pretty good season. 11 wins, 6 draws, 6 defeats before this in the PL2. Mentioned that Football League trophy. For once, didn't get out the group, having done over and above expectation. I think it's fair to say in previous seasons in that. Didn't win.
You can win games, Ben, and obviously we've got some quality boys out there, but it's the manner in which they won. I've really enjoyed the style of football this year. I think there's been a lot of goals, a lot of goal-mouth action, very few nil-nils. I think Brighton at home was a nil-nil. That was the only one I looked at and thought, oh, wasn't the greatest. But and you see individuals grow. You talk about Livramento, we talk about Lewis Bate, had great seasons, and you see them grow and grow and grow into their Chelsea shirts.
Yes, there's been a fair few 2-2s and 3-1s and 3-2s, and a lot of comebacks. A lot of games where Chelsea were looking in trouble at half-time and then have been brilliant after the break, and also a lot of games where Chelsea have been a goal up, maybe missed some chances, and then the other teams have come back into it. It's certainly been a more entertaining PL2 season, definitely, than last, no doubt about that.
One of my favourites was pre-Christmas when Petr Cech played Danny Drinkwater. You had the Spurs went in front, you had the sending off. And then we got back and won the game, and that's been one of my favourites this year for sure. Well, any time you beat Spurs is a favourite, I suppose.
But especially with the scrap and coming from 2-0 down, absolutely. That was great fun. 10 v 10 it finished, took Chelsea top. Stayed there with the 6-0 over Man U, and then that really long break I mentioned in the first half. The early matches of 2021 kept being postponed, and there was a point where we had, I think it was 4 games in hand on some of those above.
Oh, what a ball.
There's a switch and a half from Colwell.
Oh, no.
Oh, it deserved a lot better than that from Henry Lawrence too.
He's done him with the googly. little bit of spin on it for Henry Lawrence. What a ball from Levi Colwell that was.
I know it's harder to get into games these days, but you scouting types find a way. And Levi Colwell is an interesting one for me. I'd like to see him have to deal with the extra rough and tumble that senior football might bring him. He looks like the next classy defender off a rank that's had plenty in it, actually, to be fair, over recent years. Mark Kerr, he looked very much like that when he had his time at this level, I thought, and he's been a regular for Swansea, who's trying to may well be a Premier League side next term. Well,
they've got a chance of, they're certainly in the playoffs, and depending on who they get, so I think that's still in debate. As you said, they could end up in the Premiership next year, and interesting to see where Mark goes from there. If you look at the likes of Thiago, who's been excellent for us, but he's only got, perhaps another year in him, as good a pro as he is. And, you know, there is an opportunity for one of these boys to step up to the plate in time.
Absolutely, definitely. It's change for Blackburn there with Louis Annesley coming on. He's an international footballer.
For Gibraltar.
Correct. You take it where it's there, Tom.
Absolutely.
I'd love to play for Gibraltar. I declare that right now.
Any cap will do.
He
started last week, and he actually did okay on that left-hand side. Sardi actually came on as sub for him, so they've just reversed it a little bit today.
You announced your international retirement if Gibraltar came calling? Have you officially done that?
Well, it's only 30 minutes from me in Spain, so yeah, I could still get there, I suppose.
Bouncing ball for Bergstrom to deal with. He's got right under that, back in with the breeze. Foul on George McEachran, just a bit too cute. Pulled down here by George Nunn, backing himself. That's Pike's got a touch, and he's just got there. Turn a corner into a throw. Nicely done again.
Harveyville.
He's had some game.
No, what it is, Ben, I don't think he complicates the game, you know. I think if it's there to be crossed, he crosses it. If it's there to be passed, he passes it. And I think he's been brilliant today.
There's a lot to be said for that.
Well, you know, sometimes people overcomplicate, don't they? You know, they try a trick when it's simple just to pass the ball, but he certainly doesn't do that.
He is a very big tick in the box this term for sure, Harveyville. It's what you want to see, and it's what we do see at Chelsea when you get someone who is strong early on in a campaign for the youth team. They will promote quickly. Not immediately necessarily, even if they might be ready. So, you know, Jude Soon-Suk-Bell smashing in goals from September. He didn't get that look in until actually kind of Christmas time. Vale the same really, New Year, and there's two there more than young enough to play for Ed Brand every week, but now slightly more in this picture. Jude Soon-Suk-Bell just hampered slightly by a really nasty injury that we thought might keep him out for far longer actually, but good that he's been back towards the end of the season.
That's the other reason I think that the likes of George McEachran, who I love watching, and obviously Dujon have to kick on, and because it also leaves spaces for the youth team boys to come through. The longer they stay and hang around, it's no good for them, and it leaves no space for the boys to come into, and I think that they need that incentive, as you just rightly said.
Yeah, the loans are brilliant for every reason there. You think quite easily Chelsea could have Mark Gurhey, Trevor Chalobah playing at the back here, and then we wouldn't have seen Dujon, Levi Colwill this term. Blackburn free kick, they got 20 and a bit to score twice. I think that third Chelsea goal really knocked the wind out of them. That's too far. Keepers is the call.
Yeah, I think early in the second half they had plenty of fire in their bellies, and they got back into the game and they were really pushing, but I think that the third goal from Chelsea broke their hearts a little bit, and Chelsea are strolling around just recently, and another chance here.
Nicely worked for Pert Harris, who wins the throw.
I think Pert Harris was very bright there. He did get a throw, but I think he was looking to play Fia Beamer in, but saw him maybe he'd strolled offside and didn't play the ball and took it himself.
Speaking of the under-18s, by the way, they've got Spurs, Arsenal and Fulham to finish, so a little further behind. Cut out by McBride. Oh, that's a brilliant ball. It's a chance, and it's a goal for that pesky forward. Sam Burns and Blackburn are back in the contest again. That's really well made. The weight on this little chip is delightful.
Oh, it's fantastic balling. I mean, Levi Colwill, we've praised him all game. That's a poor clearance. I mean, he's looking at George Nunn there, but it goes straight to the midfield player. But look at this pick out here. This is a great ball played over the top of Yamba there. And that's a good first touch on his chest. Bergstrom absolutely no chance as he comes out. And all of a sudden, it's game on again.
Entertaining to the last. 5 goals. We've still got 20 minutes left here. Second place remains up for grabs again. They'll definitely have that fire back in the bellies now. Sterling just staying on his feet and doing enough to help force the mistake.
I never like seeing opposition score against Chelsea, but if anyone deserved the goal over the 2 games, it's the little man up front, Burns. He's been, as I said, electric for them. He's tried hard. He's worked his socks off. And as I said, we got a clean sheet last week, maybe by default. He's deserved that goal, but hopefully it goes no further than that.
Some engine he's got.
Go on,
now here's someone who deserves a goal,
yes!
And he's got one. Set up 3, score 1. I think I'm going to unofficially give him man of the match right now. And again, 2-goal lead restored. It's 4-2.
Well, I've got to say, this man's been exceptional. Again, he gets the ball here. Lovely little turn there. Gets lucky there with that. Just dinks it through the defender's legs. But look at this. Sheer pace. gets him in behind the defenders, and the right back's coming across, who's no mean feat himself. He's got plenty of pace, and but Pike can't get near him, and he drives it into that far post. And if anyone deserved the goal, I talked about their centre forward. Our left winger did today. He's been exceptional.
Well, he won't take the match ball home for a hat-trick of assists, but he's also got his first PL2 goal on top of it. And take a bow indeed, Harvey Vale, right on cue. Really impressive performance from, I was going to say young man, but he is still a boy. Playing largely with young men. One of the youngest out there.
What is going on here?
It's an absolute goal fest, and that's a big stop from Lucas Bergstrom. Burns was nearly in again. There was a minute and 23 seconds between the Burns goal and the Vale goal, and there was nearly about 25 more between that and what might have been 4-3.
Well, I have to say, I think that's just sheer lack of concentration. I think it's Levi Colwell. The ball goes over his head here. And again, it's Burns getting on the back of it. It's just a simple through ball. And I think we've just scored, and I think we just sort of lack of concentration there, and they could have got back in the game.
I think we got some end-of-term parallels here. You know what you used to be like on the last Friday of the school term, when everything sort of switches off when it's about lunchtime. Well, there's 16 minutes left of the season, and everyone's forgotten how to defend here.
Let's make it entertaining, but you know, as hard a taskmaster as Andy Myers is, he won't be happy with the defending. The funny thing is, Ben, we've talked up the defenders all day in being really good, but I think, just as I said, a little bit lack of concentration.
Now comes a bit of a squeeze. Pike. Floaty from Colwell. It's well kept. Sodhi again with the header. Foul. Bait taken out.
You know, on a couple of occasions we have hit the ball long. They've been very alert, Lewis Bate, on that occasion to get the second ball. You made the point earlier about when the defenders get it. Jules McEachran's sort of nicked it a few times, and as the forwards are coming in. On that occasion we hit long, and Lewis Bate that was nice and aware. It's good to see. We don't always play it long, but you still have to be aware at all phases.
Definitely putting the squeeze on here, Blackburn. And Biamba staying calm under pressure. Bate, forward thinking in mind. Vale has none outside him. Decent cross. Blackburn haven't dealt with it either. Harris had a little flick, and Henry Lawrence was coming to join in. It nearly broke his way. Well done, George Nunn. Harris diving in. It's very scrappy, this, isn't it? Really is.
Scrappy, but quite entertaining at the same time.
It's a great watch. Feels pretty stretched, and like 4-2 might not be the final score.
Well, they're letting all their emotions and energy out, knowing that for a lot of them it's the last game of the season. I think the youth team boys better keep a bit back, though, because they've got a couple of games still to be played, which they might be involved in.
Yep, there's a few out there who technically still can. Whether they will or not, another matter. There's decent competition for places at that level for sure. Bashir Humphreys on the bench today may well play for Ed Brand tomorrow.
Yeah, Charlie Webster as well could be involved, couldn't he?
Absolutely. Vale technically absolutely still can. Miles Burt Harris is actually in his comeback, has had a couple of games for them when he was getting back fit again. I doubt you'll see either Vale or Pert Harris playing in the remaining 3 under-18 games. But Charlie Webster, you probably will. Jude Soon-Sup-Bell would like to try and get up to 20 goals. That's always a mark for you forward types, isn't it? He's close. I think he's on 18. Well, we are going to see a bit of Bashir Humphries. There he is for Levi Colwill. Change at the back. Wonder if that would probably rule him out then. If you play 15 here, can you play 90 tomorrow morning?
I wouldn't imagine so. I think the team tomorrow will be picked already.
It's very much an ever-present for Ed Brand, and a pretty versatile defender in a 4 or a 5. Here he's... looks like he's going to take Levi Colwill's position.
Yeah, he's coming in on this left-hand side, and again, it's good experience for the young man, you know.
Foul on Fearbama again, but again just outside the box. That was down Pike that time. Plenty of time for number 5. Not chucking too many forward. Decent ball, that, isn't it? To be attacked into the right area.
I think it's a fantastic ball from Lewis Bate. I just think he gets into the right area. It's got plenty of pace on it. I think someone's got to get across that near stick there and make an effort to get on the end of it.
Sometimes in these final games of the season, you get a little window on next term, the ones that might be getting a go. Of course, not all the coaches know at this point who will still be around for various reasons, including loans. Maybe even the odd departure. But, maybe Bashir Humphries is with an eye on next term. He might be playing at the back if someone like a Colwill, or, you know, it could well be that neither... well, Gurhey, Sterling, Colwill, none of them might be actually at Chelsea when the PL2 season kicks off next term. So Bashir Humphries, maybe even Charlie Wiggett, Sam McClelland.
Yeah, I think they'll all get their chance down the line. As I said, it's about whose contracts are up as well, who's going to sign and not re-sign, who they're going to keep. And as you said, a lot of these older players, even Henry Lawrence, who's sort of 20 now, he needs to be getting out really and plying his trade in adult football. So, you know, there'll be a few of them, as I said, you know, signed for Chelsea, but not playing for Chelsea.
Yeah, he will be by the time the season starts, just about when it does start. Henry will be 20. Ancient.
Oh, well by.
In Chelsea Academy terms, 20.
Well past his sell-by. Amazing, isn't it?
Who's been to ask whether they call George McEachran granddad at 21, whatever he is. Here he's backtracking there because he saw Annesley coming forward. It's actually Zach Gilson, who they've just brought on Blackburn. We've got 8 minutes plus stoppage time here. There's McEachran nodding it down. He's not actually 21 till August. George, right at the back end of the school year. That's a very rare thing, actually. Which amazes me. I guess it's slightly to do with development and strength, but when you look at the birthdays of the boys, there are tons of them are September, October, November. Very rarely see the summer birthdays, or in relative terms, you know, to what it should be, i.e. a mix in the normal population. That's an interesting one, that.
Yeah, well, the football ages start from September the 1st, so George would be the youngest in his age group. So it makes a big difference because, you know, if you're an August birthday, you're almost a year behind a September one, which sometimes, obviously, people like Jim Fraser and Neil Bath take into a lot of consideration.
Blackburn's first goal scorer,
I think
Durant,
George has
the
got a
player's
smack
gone
on
off.
the head here, and I think the referee's got to stop the game.
I wonder if he's even noticed.
Well, he's laying down
He's
beside
just
him
had a look
almost.
now. He's only just stopped there. Andy Myers was making sure he knew about it. It took him a while to... Actually took the ball to go out of play for the treatment to come.
And by the way, just as a sideline, it's a good sign there that Sam McClellan's on the bench there with a plaster over his eye, but at least there's nothing serious going on there, maybe a stitch or two, but he'll be fine in the morning.
I feel like centre-halves should have scars.
Well, every centre-half I got, they're proud of them. Look at this, I got this when I played there. There he is there, look. It's a good talking point with his family tomorrow. Yeah, I went up for an header. You should see the state of the other geezer. But again, going back to Sam, I said last week he was excellent in the same sort against the same opposition, and I said he's had a good end to the season.
We've seen two of the back three change. I think we're going to see Declan Firth come on here. He's been on trial and just had a few minutes in that Liverpool game. Looked like he was getting ready to come on. Whether that's the end of the day for George, I think it is.
I've just seen Lewis Bate walk over there as well. Lewis is actually sat on the bench. What's happened there?
McEachran's coming off, and maybe that... But because he's a bit dazed and confused, Chelsea seem to be restarting with 10 here.
Oh, McEachran's coming back on.
Oh,
Lewis Bate's gone off.
Right. Clear as mud.
That was weird. I saw him sitting on the bench. I thought he was just having a little rest there before play
Sure, you're not allowed to
restarted.
do that. Bate, Webster, Colwell, McClelland. Walking wounded there. Easton forward. It will be a Blackburn corner.
All these changes and
There is Declan Firth.
Yeah, Declan Firth's on, yeah. All these changes and a few of them at the back. Just make sure I keep our concentration. Don't want to let them back in the game with 4 minutes to go.
And everyone appealing, nothing doing. Get rid for now, I think, and get up the field. Pike nodding it forward.
Oh, here we go.
Breaks on. Fia Bamer wanted one over the top into space. It never came. Went to Pert Harris instead, who couldn't quite make it stick.
I think it was Henry Lawrence saw the run of Fia Bamer and Pert Harris there, but just couldn't get enough purchase on the ball. As you said, there's definitely Lewis Bate gone off and Declan Firth come on.
Just a few minutes left of the PL2 season. There is the trialist. Came in February. A little cameo in a very entertaining but very irritating defeat to Liverpool. Not that that was anything to do with him, incidentally. We did see him,
Yeah, good call.
him there. Should have been about 4 goals up in that game. Chelsea ended up losing 3-2. It's not the only time this season that's happened. Here's Pert Harris. Fia Bamer pulled all over the place, but tried his best to do the hold-up job. Give it to Harvey Vale. Here he is. George Nunn. Going for that byline. Ooh.
Just as a side, Frith's come on, he's gone in that right wing-back position. Henry Lawrence has gone in the midfield and took that Lewis Bate position up. So there's been a couple of positional changes there.
Here is Firth. Now Pert Harris. Got a couple of minutes to get ahead of Tierno Ballo. Don't think it's going to happen. He'll probably claim his youth team goals on top and say he wins it as a result of that.
They'll find a way, don't trust me.
Jake Garrett, the latest here. Well, dropping like flies at the end of a, I would say, long season, but it's not really been long in terms of the hours for footballers of this level. We know that dropping like flies at Premier League level for sure. But
it's funny though, Ben, I mean, we've seen Blackburn now twice in a week, and you see the pace and the passion and the closing down and their work rate. And it's not a surprise that one or two are going down with one or two injuries, because they don't shirk any challenges, and they're encouraged at all levels. And as we said, they've had a real sort of eye-opening season, challenging Chelsea, Tottenham, not so much Manchester City, for that sort of second place.
I'm sure Billy Barr will reflect on a job well done in that regard. They should have 5 added minutes we're going to have here. Away from this particular Chelsea match, but maybe with a bearing on another one. Turkey has been put on the red list now. It's DEFCON 5 or whatever that is now, so I wonder if that will have any bearing on UEFA's thoughts.
Well, surely it must. I mean, you'd think,
depending on how long they're on it for,
and the health and safety of supporters that might go over to Istanbul has got to be paramount.
They're not going to have many in there, are they? One of the added 5 gone. We had a little bit of a delay in the 5 already. Blackburn need a bit of a miracle. Played pretty well for chunks of this game. Chelsea have been, actually, to be fair, more clinical than usual. Probably created 7 or 8 good chances. To have taken half of them is probably a better ratio than normal, actually, in fairness to them.
Well, I have to say, to give Blackburn some credit, it's certainly been a match, hasn't it? At no stage have you been comfortable with what's been going on out there, and as I said, they've worked very, very hard.
Buyamba's clearance, first real slip from him, just gave him a sniff. They've got a corner here, Blackburn. Just on that Champions League final thing, as a final thought, I'm sure that the hosts themselves would be happy to postpone it and have it next year. They'll want the trade and the economic benefits that would come from having thousands of people in their country, which they're not going to get. Yeah. Deep corner. Oh, it's looped over Bergstrom. Cleared off the line, was it? They claim it was a goal, Blackburn. They're not going to get it. There's a break on here.
Firth's got to use it right.
Firth had Fiabema, and he had Pert Harris, and he's overhit it. He had a lot of time to think about that.
Yeah, this has to be very tight. George Nunn actually clears it off the line here. And as the centre-half comes in and knocks it back over Bergstrom, I think it's Nunn at the far post there, just gets it off the line in time.
You're absolutely thinking goal there, aren't you? As you see that header, you think, oh, that's over and in.
It's a great little ball played at the far post. It's a challenge there, as you say. It goes over him. And that's Nunn there on the line, and he just heads it clear.
Sam Barnes has come second to none.
Oh.
Again, he's done a good job in that position. A couple of added minutes left. Chelsea are going to finish second in the PL2.
You know what I find there as well, Ben? That's almost striker's instinct. You know, you'd follow in a header to tap it in yourself. On that occasion, he followed it in for another reason, to clear it off the line.
Easton's not made a whole lot of saves for a keeper who's conceded 4. Get a pat on the back later. You conceded 4, did you? Must have been a nightmare. Hasn't really had that busy a game. Really a couple of saves.
Well, also, if Thibaut Courtois had conceded 4, you said, well, that's absolutely right. But on today's, you said Easton hasn't done a lot wrong.
Yeah, Courtois still got it on the evidence of midweek. That plus finishing. Otherwise, Real would have been absolutely smashed and deserved to be. Blackburn looking for a third goal here at deep into stoppage time. You want to see the boys get out on loan, you want to see their football develop, and ideally you want to see as much winning football as possible. It's going to be half a season of victories, and I think Andy Myers would have taken that at the start of the campaign to win 12 of 24, which is what it's going to be here. Bashir Humphreys, another debutant, and that's not a bad touch on debut. Well done.
Again, Levi Colwell-esque. Didn't look at all panicked by that.
Here's Vale.
Here's the MOM.
Dujon Sterling. There's the 5 added minutes. They're super quick. Go on, George Dunn, get it in the mixer. Chelsea just playing out time.
Harris is saying, cross it, cross it. I need to score one more.
But it's patient for now. Well done, boys. Good end to a decent season, that. Chelsea finish runners-up, albeit distant, to Manchester City. And the man of the moment and the man of the match, Harvey Vale, with a lovely goal of his own here, following on from 3 assists. So whatever happens in the other games that happen this evening and on Monday night, no one can finish above Chelsea except for Manchester City, who are already guaranteed of that. Hopefully they'll just beat Tottenham again later anyway, for good measure. Couple of goals here for Henry Lawrence, the skipper. And one for Brian Fear-Bamer off the bench. Blackburn gave it plenty. That was an excellent game. And the final score, though, and the final game for these two in this PL2 season. Blackburn 2, Chelsea 4. Let's have a look at the main moments of the game then. Blackburn actually pretty decent in the first half. It should have gone in front here. Sam Burns, one-on-one, Tommy.
Yeah, Sam Burns, great little run in behind. As I said, at the final finish, I think he just got caught underneath his feet here a little bit, and he just sort of tries to pass it into the corner. Good save from Bergstrom low down.
You'll get a lesson on that shortly from Henry Lawrence and co. This was excellent. Sterling, Pert Harris, and then sadly George Nunn got that wrong, and then so did Henry Lawrence. I promise that lesson is coming, just not with that particular shot there. Over the top.
The first 2 passes were superb down the right-hand side. Pert Harris and linking up very nicely. Great ball played into Nunn, who's, as I said, lacked a little bit of concentration. His first touch should be better. He's trying to shoot, misses it completely.
But it's not often that Chelsea are shut out. This was another lovely weighted pass from Sterling. Pert Harris, Vale, Lawrence, that's a super goal, really enjoyed that.
Again, it's a movement down the right-hand side. Again, Sterling and Pert Harris involved. This time he picks out Harvey Vale, whose first touch is superb. His awareness of where Henry Lawrence is, he just feeds it into the space. Great pace on the ball. And it looks like a simple finish for Henry Lawrence, but ends up in the back of the net. And we end up 1-0 up.
Harvey Vale heavily involved here on the charge. Lovely skill. power, pace, then the composure to put the brakes on and just pick out his captain, who picked out the bottom corner.
Yeah, all facets of his game there were superb. The power to win the first challenge, the pace to go past the centre half, and the intelligence to stop, pick a pass, play it into the path of Henry Lawrence. Simple tapping, doesn't hit it very well, but doesn't matter, ends up in the back of the net.
So that gave Blackburn a pretty big job to do in the second half, but they came out and scored almost immediately from the restart. Not the best defending all round, but a super finish from Durham.
Yeah, it started with, on the left-hand side, Colwell went in advance, George Nunn, who lost the ball. He eventually fell to the young winger here, who, good feet, changes the angle there and smashes it with his left foot into the top corner. Bergstrom, no chance.
Within 2 minutes, thanks to an error at the back from Blackburn, back it came. Colwell doing enough to pinch it from Harlock, and Brian Fearbamer, who come on as a late first half sub, tucking that in. And just after thinking, oh no, it's 2-1 and Blackburn's tails were up, it was 3-1 again.
Yeah, Colwell does fantastic. He just nicks the ball there. And look at him now. He's even going forward to get the tap in if Fearbamer misses it. But it's a good strike from the young striker there, and that'll get his confidence back up.
There's another assist there for Harvey Vale. Back came Blackburn again. McBride over the top, and Sam Burns making it 3-2.
Yeah, it was an uncharacteristic mistake from Levi Colwell here. He just tries to play the ball down the channel there, but he gets intercepted by Conor McBride, who plays a fantastic ball over the head of the defender there. Good first touch from the striker, Sam Burns, and he gets the deserved goal.
And then having made 3, Harvey Vale with a little 1-2 there. And a very classy finish. There's a flurry of goals there. They were no time at all apart, that little lot, at 4-2, and that's how it finished.
Yeah, I mean,
really nicely taken.
He was man of the match, played a great little 1-2, then just showed sheer pace there to get him beyond the defenders. Great strike into the far corner, and it was much deserved from Harvey Vale, as I said, who had a fantastic game. Great end to what has been a great season.
Yes, for him, and a good one for the team too. A reminder of things upcoming on the Fifth Stand app. Tomorrow, from 4:20, Match Day Live, we will have people all over the place, including the Etihad, for the Premier League meeting of Manchester City and Chelsea. Straight after that, it's Arsenal at the Bridge in midweek. Don't forget that, and you will be able to see Thomas Tuchel's press conference on Tuesday afternoon. And the Arsenal game itself is it's a funny kick-off. It's 8:15 next Wednesday at the Bridge. Match Day Live will be with you from 7:05. Well, thanks for joining us this evening. I hope you have a fine Chelsea weekend. We've got off to a winning start, and thanks for joining us in general on what's been a really entertaining PL2 season. Well done, Andy Myers and the boys. My thanks to Tommy Langley.
Pleasure.
And we'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.